Hi, my name is Sheldon, and I'm going to go over a couple things that will help you when you play Etude out of the Suzuki Book. First of all, when you're crossing strings, your arm has an up and down motion, your bow arm here. And it does this across all 4 strings. Okay? So try that with me. Take your bow, place it on the E string, about middle of the bow, okay? And we're just going to raise our arm and lower it. Not too much. Okay. So now let's just narrow it down to the D and the A strings, okay? Middle of the bow on the A string. And we're just going to go back and forth between D and A. Notice how little the bow moves compared to all the other times. So this, we can just raise our forearm just slightly to get to both of these strings that we need. Okay? Try it with me. Take your bow, place it on the A string, and then just raise to the D. Just raise your forearm just a little bit to get to the D and lower it back to the A. So this next exercise, I want you to listen and then join me, okay? We're going to take a short bow stroke on the A string, and then we're going to raise our forearm and do a short bow stroke on the D. So we're going to go. Alright, try this with me. Take your bow, place it on the A string, about middle of your bow. Do a short bow stroke, up to the D, down to the A. Now let's take a look at the first 2 measures of Etude. Just for the strings that we're on, we go between the A and the D string. So, if we take all the notes out and just play the open strings, we end up with a pattern like this for the first measure. So try that with me. Take your bow, place it in the middle of the bow on the A string, and play along with me. I'll start. 1, 2, here we go. If we go on into the second measure, it sounds like this. So those are the first 2 measures. So let's try that together. 1, 2, ready, and. Nice. So now let's take a look at what the left hand is doing with this piece. So we have our first finger on the A string. Okay, so remember that our wrist is straight. We have a nice space between the fingerboard and our hand here. And our fingers are nice and curved over the fingerboard, okay? We're on the tips of our fingers. First finger on the A string, and we need to be ready to do our third finger on the D string. All right, so we get now this is just the first measure. So we get 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A. So try this with me. 1, 2, say the notes and sing it with me as we play this. So we're going to sing our fingerings. 1, D, 3, A, 1. All right, sing that with me. 1, 2, here we go. 1, D, 3, A, 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 1. Nice. So let's add the second measure here. So we got 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, 3, 2, 1, A. 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, 3, 2, 1, A. Okay, try that with me. 1, 2, sing as well. Sing those finger numbers, that'll help you get it under your hand. 1, 2, here we go. 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, 3, 2, 1, A. Again. 1, D, 3, A, 1, D, 3, A, 1, 3, 2, 1, A. Remember low 2 in this one on the A string. Our first and second fingers are neighbors here on the A string. So we have low 2 on the A string, okay? Let's take it with the bow this time. And we'll take it that slow. I'll play it for you once or a couple times, and then you can join in with me, okay? Now that we have the notes in our heads, we have the fingerings in our heads, let's add the bow to this. Middle of the bow on the A string. And we go. Why don't you join me this time, all right? 1, 2, bow, middle of the bow on the A string. 1, 2, here we go. So I just went over a couple things for you for the Etude in the Suzuki Violin Book 1. And it's just to remember really small bow angles, not big movements with your arm, just small movements with your forearm. Okay? I hope that helps. Apply this to the rest of the piece, and I think it will go well for you. All right? Thanks for joining me. Hope you're well.